Good Thursday morning. I love Thursday mornings partly because I get to go to the local high school and fellowship and worship with several of the students. About half of the leadership was gone this morning, but we still had a whole bunch of younger students. The freshmen, sophomore, some of the juniors were there. Most of the seniors were gone with another project, but it's just such a joy to gather together with these kids and open scripture to talk about what's happening and what's going to happen. And as we are reading through Romans, we're in chapter 8, verse 18, and Paul has uh, reminded these believers that the spirit that God has given to you is the spirit of Christ. It's his spirit. It's a spirit of adoption, the spirit of his own son, and we are joint heirs with Christ. If we share in his suffering, we'll share in the glory as well. He goes on here in verse 18 and says, "For I consider that the sufferings of the present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that is to be revealed to us." The Apostle Paul knew something about suffering. You can read in his letters to the Corinthian church how he said, if you want to boast about things that really aren't worth boasting about, I can join in the boasting. I can join in with people that have been stoned, not with chemicals or drugs, but with rocks, shipwrecked, beaten, betrayed. Paul knew what it was like to suffer in this life, and he's saying the sufferings of this world cannot be compared to what is awaiting us. When Jesus said, "Don't let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. For in my Father's house are many dwelling places, and I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again to receive you unto myself, so that where I am, there you may be also." What a marvelous promise. And as he is preparing a place for us, we're excited about that and are able to endure now anything in this life. We read in Hebrews chapter 12, that we are to run the race that's marked out for us. In the same way that Jesus accomplished God's will in his life, so we also ought to accomplish God's will in our lives. It says, for the joy set before him, Jesus endured the cross, despising its shame, because he knew what the joy was before him. He knew what was on the other side. And so we can take his word for it. He's been there. He's been here and he's been there. And we can take his word for it and follow him through life, through death, and into eternity. Because what he is preparing for us is beyond anything that the mind of man has even imagined. In fact, in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 9, we read, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has imagined what God has prepared for those who love him." So, we are those who love him, and we look forward to the incomparable blessings that Christ is preparing for us in God's house. So, between now and then, live with peace, live with hope, live with joy, live with the love of God who dwells within you, because he loves you and he loves everyone that you will meet today. And we love you too.